afternoon. My name is Morgan Shanaberger, and today, along with my partners Tamara Salwick and Logan Spicer, we are going to be presenting a PowerPoint on the charity Newborns in Need. Newborns in Need is a 501c3 charity which serves impoverished infants and their families by providing them with necessities that they might need in the first few months of life, such as clothing and bedding. The board of Newborns in Need is comprised of 4 main members, although there are hundreds of people across the country who make this charity possible. The 4 members of the board are the chairman, who is Sam Sefried, the national president, who is Connie Edwards, the national vice president, who's Gail McKeithen, and the national treasurer, which is Preeta Mamani. The real story of being born poor. Although many infants are born in America who have a lot of privilege and who have everything that they need, there are also many that don't. And 24% of welfare recipients are actually infants. And the United States actually ranks one of the worst in child poverty and also one of the worst in infant mortality among comparable countries. Half of the children that are under the age of 3 are already living with a single parent or have always lived with a single parent. And this increases the odds of many things. It increases the odds that they will grow up in poverty. It increases the odds that they won't have supplies that they need to make them successful in their education, and many other implications. There's a program called TANF, and it's a government program that could give the infants a big advantage in society and growing up. And unfortunately, only 27 out of 100 eligible families ever take advantage of this opportunity to help their children. Some fast facts about Newborns in Need. Almost 95% of the money raised by Newborns in Need goes directly to its programs and services. The people on the board work very hard to make sure that the money gets allocated the best way that it can to serve the maximum number of infants that it can. Newborns in Need also has another facet where they provide burial and funeral clothing for infants who otherwise might not have a dignified burial. So they believe that every child in life or in death deserves to be taken care of and deserves to be given respect. And many new chapters have been started to help with newborns in need, and they are strategically placed throughout the country, and they have to be at least 30 miles apart in order to provide the best care and the best services that they can. And now I will turn it over to my partner Logan, who will describe some of the more intricate details of Newborns in Need.
For the location portion of this presentation, Newborns in Need has chapters all throughout the nation, which is headquartered, is located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. They also have chapters in Alaska, Mississippi, Alabama, and stretching all the way out west to California. In this diagram, it shows all the East Coast chapters, ranging from Maine to the middle of Florida. In this picture, it illustrates the national headquarters located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Central chapters in fundraising. Chapters focus on newborn care kits that focus on the total needs of newborns in their early life. The kit includes diapers, creams, seasonal clothing. For example, if a newborn is born in the month of December, they're more likely to receive a heavier jacket, possibly a hat, gloves, in order to keep the newborn warm. In the summer months, if a baby is born, they're going to get a lighter clothing. And also, soft blankets are provided to these newborns from Newborns in Need. Sleepers in September is an annual event. that provides sleepers instead of blankets. Sleepers is thought to be a preventative instead of blankets to combat sudden infant death syndrome, also known as SIDS. In this picture, it shows Mackenzie High School Beta Club collected nearly 100 items for newborns in need. Here are all the students and teachers holding the sleepers, which depicts the community very well as coming into this chapter and helping out for these newborns who do not have the correct clothing. In this picture, it shows Sleepers in September's logo. One heart, one mission is their slogan. And in the middle shows the sleepers. History of newborns in need. In 1992, Carol Green found that babies who died were being buried without the essential clothing. So she began to collect clothing and donations from the community to help combat this problem. One day, her husband gave her the bright idea to stretch this out a little bit farther to newborns who were also living but weren't having the provided clothing that they needed to sustain a healthy life. 2007, the headquarters was established in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. 2015 to date, there are more than 55 chapters ranging all throughout the nation of newborns in need. And this is great because babies are born throughout this nation every single day, and not every single newborn has the correct clothing provided to them by a parent or a guardian, so they try and take the extra step to help these newborns out. For the finances portion of this presentation, 65% of the total expenses are spent on program activities. Organizations meet the standard for fundraising. This is very important because a lot of the organizations do not meet their standards for fundraising. Boards approve annual budget for major program activities, fundraising, and administration. This includes major program activities like going out into the community, having a field day to demonstrate what newborns in need is all about, fundraising, handing out pamphlets to know what newborns in need is about, putting up signs in your local libraries, your post offices, and also administration, which includes keeping the website up and running, the clothing lines, helping these people who have devoted their life to newborns in need stay in it, and also the administration, the people who are the day in and day out running this organization.
Hi, I'm Damaris, and I'm going to start by discussing the finances of newborns in need. To begin, 65% of the program's annual budget is spent on program activities, and this can include things such as making kits for newborns or making bereavement gowns. Also, this organization meets all standards for fundraising. And finally, the board must approve the annual budget each year to prevent financial mishandling. Newborns in Need has had a big impact throughout the U.S. They help underprivileged families by providing them with things necessary for raising an infant, such as diapers, clothes, blankets, just to name a few. Newborns in Need does more than just supporting infants. They also have a hand in supporting families and parents who have faced the sudden death of an infant. They do this by providing bereavement gowns to bury the children in. One of the ways they make these bereavement gowns is by using donated wedding dresses, and one wedding dress can actually make several bereavement gowns. To summarize, Newborns in Need is an important organization. It has helped many families while also being fiscally responsible in the process. The sources we used was an article on child poverty and integrational mobility written by Foss, Deenan, and Aratani. We also used the National Baby Facts website, the BBBY's Giving Allowance, and GuideStar.